Hey guys, welcome back to the Blush and Burn podcast. I'm Laura Eakin.
And I'm Annie Baxter.
And today we're reading 1-star reviews on our God tier books.
Yeah, I love this idea.
I do too, but I'm actually kind of afraid.
I am too. I may have snuck a peek at a couple of them just because I was I was one.
How dare you? How dare
I was
you?
curious.
I have to make sure your phone
And
doesn't
I
close on
will
me.
admit that my heart broke a little bit. So let's do this. I don't know what it's going to look like. We don't know what it's going to be like, but
This is going to be great.
This is going to be great.
This is going to be a lot.
So the idea is that we're going to defend our 5-star.
Yes.
Our 5 stars that we just don't
Except
give
no criticism on.
2 flying fucks what anybody else thinks.
Yep. You can say what you want.
Right.
I don't care. 'Tis your opinion. This is mine. But you can also take your opinion and walk it out the door.
And there's always like multiple reasons why you give something a 5 star. So
absolutely.
we're just going to kind of jump in really quick and just see where we both are.
Yes. And we're starting with Annie's 2024 book.
This was my favorite book of 2024. Multiple reasons. Anathema by Carrie Lake. This was recommended to me by one of our great friends, Jack Ann. And I put it off and put it off and put it off. And then I finally read it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. So, okay, you.
I'm looking through these to find one.
There were, okay, so that was the one I did peek at. And there were a couple that I thought looked a little bit like people are mean and they're opinionated. But I guess I'm opinionated too. So it's fine. Just pick one, summarize it. I mean, some of them are really detailed. You don't need to get
the one that's at the top.
And in all reality,
oh my
for that
gosh,
one,
that's way detailed.
I know there isn't that many.
No, there's not.
In all reality, in Anathema by Carrie Lake, there were not very many 1-star reviews on this.
No. So, Anathema.
Yes.
Is sitting at a 4.24 rating on Goodreads.
Right.
With 29,000 reviews.
Freaking crazy.
Absolutely crazy.
Crazy.
And so good.
Yeah.
So let's.
And your 4 and 5 stars are like neck and neck, right? Like,
yeah.
When I kind of looked at the the scale, like a lot of it was like they were pretty neck and neck.
Yeah.
I'm like nervous.
I have to read it first though, because I want to make sure that things that I say, I know that we do no filters, but I want to make sure that what I'm actually going to say is like,
well, I mean, it's out there. You can just throw it out. I'm just going to defend it. I'm just going to, and I may just laugh at it. Like, she's making me nervous.
Okay. Do we give a premise about what this book is about?
Anathema is a dark gothic fantasy, romantasy with a morally black male who makes my toes tingle.
Okay. So this review, we will put screenshots of the reviews down at the bottom too, so that you guys can see them. Names will obviously be blurred out.
Yeah, we don't need names.
This book is awful. It's so boring and honestly repulsive. There is detailed descriptions of molestation, rape, and sexual torture. On top of that, the plot is beyond boring and the world building is violently confusing. You start off with a 3-page glossary of definitions that make 0 sense. I had to stop at 31%. Nothing was happening. Word of advice, don't waste your time.
First of all, my dear, things start getting really good about 50%. So, and by that, I mean, the world building is not complete, but there is world building in this. And it's very much appreciated world building to continue on to the rest of the rest of the book. And in my opinion, if you thought that world building was boring, I literally cannot imagine how you get through any fantasy book.
Yeah.
It's like the first half of the book is just building the freaking world.
That sounds about right.
I mean, you have to get through that to get through the rest of it. And
yeah,
but the intent of the glossary was because it was detailed.
Unique.
Oh, totally unique. That's
why I
actually
find
great.
like that's an important reason to have a
It was
glossary.
unique, but also the world was deep and it had depth to it. And it's like I didn't ever go back to the glossary. And I will tell you that actually made me nervous. Do you remember we did something, and I was telling Jackie, I'm like, the glossary is making me nervous. And she goes, don't even go back to it. Just move over it. It's more of a guideline. Yep. And the minute I did that, I was like, oh my gosh, you don't even need it. The world just builds on itself and it's paced so well. And Carrie Lake's writing in this book was beautiful. It was like lyrical to me and it just sang to me. So
I like that.
And I liked the darkness of this. It was truly gothic.
Will you screenshot that?
Yeah.
Annie's phone is broken.
Truly gothic.
Okay, so I tapped that, but I didn't know.
Is that weird? Yeah.
That's
guess what?
Giant freaking process.
Doesn't matter. We don't want TikTok to get... My volume button doesn't work on my phone. No, but I don't want to get a new one because TikTok
isn't on those
may
ones.
Not be on it. So
how many reviews do you want that are 1 star on this book?
That was enough. So let me say, like, I actually understand where that person obviously was coming from, but
yes.
But I need depth in my story. I want richness, and I want each character to be developed, and it sometimes takes time to get to that place. Yeah. And if you're not willing to hang into it to get there, then fuck off. You know, it's cool. Like, just go bail. It's totally fine. Yeah. But man, I have not read anything that yummy, that gothic-y, like really like it almost had some like creepy vibes in it and stuff. And yeah, there were some notes of molestation and maybe even some, like, these older men, these girls were being given to you know, older men in their village. And sometimes if you can't handle a little bit of that darkness, then that's okay. It's just not meant for you.
But
and
at the same
I just
time,
feel like
that's why
added,
there's a trigger warning page.
Totally. It added to the story for me. And
to, like, at least know the background of it too.
I just knew that story was going to get someplace good, and that was just going to be a blip in the radar. Yeah. So, okay. Laura's is Dark Fever by
Karen Marie Moning.
Yes. Laura spouts this through the roof to anyone who will hear it.
I love this series.
Karen Marie Moning, Dark Fever. Good. She will also tell you about the Highlander series, but we'll just stay with Dark Fever for now.
Fever. So what is it rated on Goodreads?
Okay, so right now it's rated 4.06 on Goodreads. It has 185,000 ratings.
There's a reason.
There totally is. And on the scale, I mean,
there's not a lot of 1 stars.
There's a ton of 5 stars.
For those 5 stars that came from my recommendation.
There are so few 1 and 2 stars on this. It's insane.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to click on the 1 star.
Be nice to me.
I know. This is This is fun.
It is. It's a little hard though.
This one's just funny.
Great.
Can we just do this one because I just think that it's actually like kind of comical.
Of course.
And okay.
Now I understand why you were so worried. Okay? I understand.
This is hilarious. Okay. Let's also say that this is above 18. Maybe?
Yeah. Well, the whole series is.
I know. Okay. Maybe if I had 10 or 20 dicks, or maybe Michaela's vagina, I would have found this sexy. But I don't. And maybe if I hadn't read anything in my existence, I would have found the book interesting, but I can't delete the good shit. Good shit I've read for this. And for the love of feminism, can somebody please come to my house and explain to me how bullshit barons and the lame are sexy? I'm sorry. I know this. Listen.
Oh
Okay, you can defend that. That's not hard to defend. But
No, it's not.
I thought that.
Listen.
Like, this is comical. Okay.
Well, first of all, this series is a slow burn.
Yeah, it's totally.
It is not like you're getting spice right off the bat. Okay,
No.
You're getting tension right off the bat. But this series is a slow burn, and when it comes, it comes, and it's so good.
Yum.
But all that to be said, are you freaking kidding me? Barron's is like drop dead gorgeous. He is.
Tell me that first line does not make you giggle. That, I mean, this is why I read it.
Right.
Maybe if I have 10 to 20 dicks, or maybe Michaela's vagina.
For like, are you kidding me?
That's funny. It's funny.
It's fine. Your opinion is wrong. Barron's is baller. Funny story. I made a happy birthday Jericho Barron's post.
You did.
And I said, honey, you need to like that because it came up on his feed. And he goes, why am I going to like a video of you wishing a fictional man happy birthday?
Because he's yummy.
Because it's Barron's.
He's like dark and mysterious.
You like Barron's. You just don't know you like Barron's, but you like Barron's. And then Verlaine, are you kidding me? Verlaine is like the epitome of all fae yumminess.
Yeah, he's that dark villainy.
Oh,
like,
he's that. Oh, but both of them are like so morally gray.
Yeah.
Even though one appears to be like more sunshiny than the other person, they both are so morally gray, and it is great.
Sometimes I think with this series, you have to, I don't want to say like read between the lines a little bit, but I do think that it's just a feeling.
Oh, it's a
Right? It's more
this
of
series
like
is a vibe.
It's more of like the tone and the feeling that comes with it. And sometimes there's not as much description.
Right.
But
it's okay though.
you get the feeling and you get the vibe.
Mm-hmm. And to premise, this story is about a girl who goes to Dublin to try and find her sister's murderer. Like,
I know.
That's the whole point of the story.
I will say that
That's
I
where
did
it
read
starts.
one really quick that was like a little bit of like, this whole thing is about her sister's murder. And I'm like, yeah, that's the whole, like.
Listen, if you got murked off in Dublin, I'd be headed off there too.
It's like the reason for the story.
Yes,
Like
the whole reason she goes to Dublin.
Every book and every story has that.
Has a starting point that spurs them forward.
And
something that pushes them
they
on.
obsess with it a little bit. Like, that's
the whole point.
I mean, why do you write a book?
Hey, face, homie.
My face.
I need because it doesn't think that my face is your face.
I know. Okay, the next one. Here, I'll tell you. You have to look it up.
Okay.
Okay, so the next one that I have on my list is Pucking Around by Emily Rath. I will say, first, before you look it up, I'm sure there's a few, because this is a polyamorous story.
Yeah.
It's meant to be that way.
Yes.
If you don't like poly, you're not going to like it.
Yes.
Like, so with that being said, you read me that and I will rebuttal it to the best of my ability.
How big is this one? Oh,
some of them I just can't understand.
People are like in depth, man.
I know. If you follow me on Goodreads, which you should, I don't write a whole like story. Like,
holy shit.
I either like it or I don't like it.
People had some really strong opinions on this book.
They did.
You need to know.
No, they did. And I know, and that's kind of part of the reason why I was like, we should do this one, just because I just knew that people, I think the people who like it are, they're just more open to different types of like lifestyles, and just know that like love can be shared and not just it doesn't have to be just tied to one person, but doesn't mean that doesn't complicate things.
It's so true. Okay, so Pucking Around is rated at a 3.79 on Goodreads, with 169,890 reviews.
Okay.
Most of them are 5 and 4 stars.
Right.
Now, I'm going to read a couple of these because there's some very short ones that I feel like are good choices here.
Well, and they may be good points. So let's
Yeah.
go
Well,
ahead.
the first one,
Yes.
I
Okay.
aspire to never think about this book again.
I think about it all the time.
Oh, people, quit writing freaking novels
Like, honestly,
to say no.
I felt like this was like such a great like it's a big book, and I thought Emily Rath did a really good job at like developing each one of the characters and took time with each one of them and gave them the backstory and that was due to them. Oh my God.
Book Talk hypes up another horrible book, Fork Found in the Kitchen. The fact that it is nominated for Goodreads Awards for romance tells you everything you need to know about the awards, in quotations.
Okay. I don't even know how to defend that. It's like,
Yeah.
I really think that the development of this story and the pacing of it was just done really well. And I really liked Pucking Sweet.
Yeah.
The same. I loved this one more.
Yeah.
Mostly because I liked the male characters in Pucking Around a little bit more than in Pucking Sweet. But it was just, I think that's just that was more just personal choice. I also gave Pucking Sweet a 5 stars. She did just a MF called Pucking Wild, and I think I gave maybe like 3.5. It was not, that one wasn't actually my favorite because I didn't care for the main male character as much.
Yeah.
It's just a personal choice.
So this is the last one.
Okay.
DNF'd at 44%. Smut is okay, but the characters are all dookie and extremely emotionally immature. It was all right in the beginning, but the longer I read, the shittier it got.
I think it was just real. I think sometimes it's hard for people to read things that are a little bit real too.
Yeah.
Because in the end, we are all immature and emotionally stunted.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Nope. I think we all have our bouts of immaturity. So
Oh, absolutely.
I think that it was probably just real.
I would agree with that.
So are you looking up your next
I was
one?
going to pull it up, but I wanted to make sure that it was even something that had 1-star reviews.
She's like, my book is so
My thing
cool
is, though, is that this is
I
a
don't
YA
even
book.
my book doesn't even get a 1-star review.
Okay, this is what, or even new adult. This would be classified as a YA to new adult book.
True. It's true.
And I don't accept criticism on it because I loved it so much.
There are a ton of ratings on this book, Laura. Tell us what it is.
This is Poison Study by Maria V. Snyder.
I
So
read.
good. So this girl, I can't remember what she does, but something happens where she basically gets sent to prison. And they said, well, you can either die or you become the poison tester for General Ambrose.
That's
General?
his name. Yeah.
I can't remember
how
if it's
you
General.
remember that. We
I
read
just-
these books like 10 freaking years ago,
Commander.
Laura.
The Commander Ambrose.
Oh my gosh.
I remember a lot from this book series. So anyway, she says,
You're making me
I'll
wanna
be the food
reread it."
tester. And so they decide to be the food tester. And she has to go through this whole learning of poisons with Valak.
I actually like that name.
I like Valak.
Yeah,
Valak
I
is
think
great.
I like that name actually.
I have special editions of the first 3 of these books.
I
That's how
do
much I
too.
love them.
Should we tell a really funny story about one of my copies of the series? I was talking to Laura about we were doing a Christmas book exchange, and I was like, the whole idea was to like give away
A used book.
So we go to the Provo Library that's local to us. They do sales periodically. We went. I picked up this series. It was hammered, right? Like they
so
were all
hammered.
hammered.
Like the library and the patrons had just like torn it apart.
I think we're gonna say loved.
Yeah, well, that's right.
I think
We
it was
got
just
told
a really
that a book that is well worn in is well loved.
Yeah, I think it was just really well loved, and that's what I'm going with.
Yes.
And I said, I think I'm going to do this one at the exchange because I already have a special edition copy. Like, I would love for someone else to read this and have the experience. So I'm opening it up. No joke. There was a signature in the front of this book.
The
And
library had a sign.
we had to pull down one of our special editions
and match it up to make sure
with the
that
signature.
it was like actually signed.
But it's still stamped with Provo. I don't understand how it happened. I don't know if I really care.
So bugged.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's do. Okay, this is the one I'm going for. And
That's a long one.
I'm not going to read all of it. I think I'm just going to read the beginning of it.
Okay.
Because I don't think that it's necessary to actually like read the whole entire thing.
Okay.
This was just plain bad, terrible, horrible, painful, and overhyped, inexplicitly lauded mess. I don't know what lauded means, but I'm going to look it up. Juvenile writing. Seriously, I've read middle grade with more believable nuisance. Flimsy characters, zero romantic chemistry. Nonsensical, inconsistent world building, painful plot, total lack of immersion in the so-called pivotal device. What the ever-loving crap. Okay, which isn't actually very important to the story. And then she actually goes on and just like
continues to hammer it. I'm sorry, reviewer. Your opinion is wrong.
Yeah,
this book series lives with me. Specifically book 1. It lives with me. It's so good. Your opinion is wrong.
I actually think you fall into that world.
I do too. 1000%.
There's a tone to it.
There is.
The whole series.
I understand. For this person to say that it's juvenile writing.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're starting out with this girl. I'm pretty sure she's 19 when we start. 18, 19.
Yeah, it's meant.
She's young. So
for
like
you're a little bit of a younger audience.
Yeah, but you're building up through this entire series.
Yeah.
She literally is trying to become a poison taster. Like, are you freaking kidding me?
I know.
Whatever. Your opinion's wrong. I think the world building is. I'm going to keep going because I've got.
Like, think about it though. I actually thought the world was like I can still.
I feel like I'm in the castle
still.
This
far down, if this many years later, I can still feel the tone and the feeling of like that book series. Like I don't. I would say, author well done.
Absolutely.
Right? Like if I'm capable
with
of
us to that
still
point.
feeling the feeling of it, then I mean, job accomplished, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I would think so.
Me too.
I can still feel sitting in a study with Valak.
Yeah.
I can still see him freaking out as she says, Belladonna. I can still...
Can you feel the town even? I can still feel kind of like this...
Not so much the town. I can feel like the castle grounds.
Yeah.
And I can feel Commander Ambrose. Because there's some things that are happening there. Doesn't matter. Your opinion's wrong.
I'm going to agree with you. I mean...
It lives with me.
Part of this experiment is to just see, like, we think people are crazy.
I do. I think that person is legit cuckoo snacks.
Yeah.
I disagree with you full-heartedly.
I am going to agree with you. And I actually liked the whole entire series. So
I agree.
And she has spinoffs.
Yes, she does. And they're so good. They're so good. So now we're going to go back and forth on 2 books that Annie and I have both read that we agreed upon that we will accept absolutely no criticism on.
Yeah, these were ones that we both loved.
Absolutely.
And
both gave 5 stars. I
have heard people say that it wasn't their favorite, and I about passed out and thought I was going to die. So,
and then I looked at him and said, I'm glad you have an opinion. I don't care.
Okay, let's do the first book, and then I want you to read. I want to read my review first.
Oh my gosh. We're gonna read our reviews.
Well, I don't know what yours is. Maybe we can look it up.
Either.
Okay, I gave okay, so the first book. This is Assistant to the Villain.
What is this sitting at rating wise first?
Okay, rating wise first. Okay, obviously gave 5 stars. It's at a 3.9.
Okay.
It has 217,000 ratings. It only has 36,000 actual reviews that people have written, but I mean, 217,000 people rated this.
That's amazing.
Like, that's insane.
I'll take that for a win.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's so close to being a 4-star. Like that's freaking
I wanna hear your review
awesome
though, on this
It
one.
actually has higher 4-star reviews than 5-star.
Okay. That would track
And it
that.
actually only has a few 1 stars. I think the only thing that actually brings maybe the rating down at Goodreads a little bit is just that
It matches
it's
with the 4 and the
4-star
5.
is just like for someone's first book. I
Heck
mean,
yeah, debut novel.
Jeez.
I think that's awesome.
Okay, cool. This was my review. I did 5 star. I did 5 stars. That's the thing. I really love this story. With the cliffhanger, I'm just so excited for the next book. I think
You just needed to put something in so that you could mark it, because we talked about it for like a week after.
Because sometimes I have so many emotions about, like, so sometimes when I do my reviews, I have so many emotions that I don't know how to get them all out and articulate what I am.
That's awesome.
So, okay,
Can you see mine?
I don't know.
Go back. Yeah.
Oh, there's yours. Oh, Laura's was great. Laura gave it 5 stars. She called it a BK17. She gave it a 1 pepper, which I am going to agree with.
I should explain why that's a 1 pepper though.
Yeah.
It was a 1 pepper because sex is talked about multiple times throughout the book. Not that the acts were there. So I think I'd actually give it more of like a half pepper, if not a green bell pepper. But the amount of talk about sex and like innuendos.
If you're saying that means like, did we give, what did we give Signs of Cupidity? Did we give it 1?
I think I gave it a
Because
half.
it's talked about the whole entire time.
I think I gave it a half, but that was before we came up with our full rating system.
And that's true. It was intensely talked about the whole time.
So Signs of Cupidity, we will do like a full review on, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
When we get there. But this was before the whole rating system.
This was what you said. You said, oh my gosh, I freaking lives, which I think you meant loves this book. It was a solid 5-star or 4-star until the end with all the twists and turns. I will be recommending this to everyone. I love Evie and her banter. Getting in with the villain and being his assistant isn't easy, but Evie takes it in stride. So
I stand by that.
I stand by that too. I thought the banter was
so good.
Freaking amazing in this.
So good.
And it had a light-heartedness to it.
Oh, absolutely.
The dark things that they were talking about.
Oh, yeah. It was cozy.
I know. It's the most bizarre.
Ugh, I don't even know if I want you to read 1 stars.
I know.
Something I've learned so far, people are rude. And they pick things apart to a very, very large extent.
It's true.
That I was not anticipating. Oh, I'm worried. But I also already think you're wrong. Just going to throw it out there. If you're going to give this 1 star, I already think you're wrong.
I'll read this one because it just goes to show that I have a totally different personality than this person. Okay. She says, DNF'd at 60%. If you like this book, I'm happy for you. But it was honestly I was bored to death and didn't laugh once.
Oh my gosh.
Are you dead inside?
Legit. Okay.
I know I'm in the minority here. No shit, Sherlock.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted to love it, but I just couldn't. This was way more. I'm not going to read all of it. I honestly don't know how I made it as far as I did. Every page felt like a chore.
Again, you're wrong.
The plot was so boring. It barely held my attention. Okay. The jokes didn't land. It felt forced. Okay. there was a tone in this book
Absolutely.
and a vibe that I actually remember. I think I remember telling you, I can't skim this book. I'm a speed reader because I have to read every word, and I
Oh, for
think
sure.
that's it's. You just do that with in this book. You read every word.
It's an every word book
And-
because you need it.
Yeah, you need it.
There's
And
like a vibe there.
yeah, it could be. I think it just was like every word meant something. It just
Yeah.
it felt that like that strong,
Yes,
right?
I would agree.
The writing was probably the biggest turnoff for me.
Oh, well, again, you're wrong.
Yeah, I should have trusted my gut and DNF'd it after the prologue, honestly. Okay. Look, we are always saying everyone is entitled to their opinion. I loved Assistant to the Villain. I loved the end, and Evie was fantastic.
Evie is fantastic.
Evie is fun. And if I'm being honest, I think Evie is a little bit like the author.
Yes.
Like, I think that
Actually, watching her videos on
I
TikTok,
can see
legit,
there's some like
she is.
Yeah, like if you really get to know like her personality and see her on her socials, like she you can tell that she wrote this character. Like her fun, her lightheartedness, like she has a love for life. Like I really, really love this author.
I agree. 1000% I agree.
We have not read book 2. We should throw that out there.
Have not. But
We're
have
going
high
to.
hopes.
We're going to. Hey, let's throw that one out for book club. Did
Apprent-
we try to do
assistant?
Assistant to the Villain?
I think we threw it out once.
We have to try that again.
Are you ready for our last book?
I am ready for our last
I'm
book.
so ready for this book.
What is it?
Flames of Chaos.
That's right.
By Amelia Hutchins. Chef's kiss. This,
Yeah.
It was so good.
Sometimes I feel like we're just like on repeat because there's like a couple that we just like really like.
Yeah. I like your short reviews, by the way. They are rather fantastic. I appreciate them.
Sorry.
I'll appreciate them.
I have so many feels that sometimes I literally have to just put in there if I like it or not.
Oh, you did just that. So this is Annie's review of Flames of Chaos.
I'm afraid I don't know what it is. Who knows what I felt at that minute?
Well, good.
Okay.
5 stars for Chili Peppers, which I will agree with. This is a 5-star read. I will throw out, it is a BKR, BKX.
I would call it an R.
It's a borderline between an R and an X.
Agreed.
Because the content is very descriptive.
Yeah.
So 5-star for Chili Pepper. Where has this book been all my life? It was the perfect balance of story and spice. Best tension and banter ever.
There you go.
That sums it up. Oh, this is rated at a 3.76 with
Okay.
21,000 reviews.
Okay.
21,000 ratings and 2,500 reviews.
I'm a little shocked by that.
I am too. I thought there would
I thought
be
there
more.
would be more reviews.
I
or
listed
ratings
this as an
anyway.
X, by the way.
Did you?
I did give this an X.
I think I would have thought that there would be more. Maybe I wonder when the pepper count goes up a little bit, like your
I think
ratings
it will.
come down just a little, just because you lose a little bit of like the audience that's gonna like be willing to go there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
agree.
mean?
I
Yeah.
do agree. So here is my review.
Okay.
It's a little bit more than yours. Sometimes they get a little detailed. It's really not that much. BKX, 4 Chili Pepper, 5 stars.
Okay.
50%.
Blah blah blah.
50% smut to plot. So 50-50 smut to plot. Point of view is POV is first person dual point of view because it goes back and forth between our FMC and our MMC. Oh my jaw is on the floor. I will have scenes living rent-free in my brain from this book. I didn't expect the twists or turns and where we would end up. This kept me guessing the whole way. I will recommend this book as long as I live. On to book 2.
Yeah.
So freaking good. I gotta screenshot it.
It's
process.
I love this world.
I do
the
too.
Nine Realms. I thought that it was. I thought she did a great job at world building. I thought that it was, to me, was so cool that I thought it was so cool. We start out in a contemporary setting, and then we move into a fantasy setting. Like we move into like it's almost like it starts out as like urban fantasy,
Mm-hmm.
and then it moves into fantasy. And I thought that that was a cool transition, and it helped build the story because each time you move into a new space or to a new realm, the world grows. And each book did that.
Yeah.
Like each book
I
in
absolutely
this
would
series
agree.
kept making the world grow bigger and bigger. And I think Amelia Hutchins did a great job with this series.
I agree.
We are very excited to try some of her other stuff.
Oh, I'm
We
actually so excited for this.
yeah, I think the next one would be that we want to
I can't remember what it's
go
called.
into is
Fighting. I can see the cover.
I know I can too.
We're going to put it right here. This is the one that we are excited to go into because I can't remember what it's
I
called.
can't either, but we're gonna do it.
Yeah, absolutely. The first one that I'm going to give us. Why are all the characters so crude? Good God. I honestly think I could have lived without having the whole cast of characters seeing Arya in her birthday suit every 2 pages. Note to self, don't trust book talk recommendations, please.
I will say that I've hardly seen this book on Book Talk. So
I haven't seen it hardly anywhere.
If you've seen it on Book Talk, that's awesome. We should probably do some more of it because I hardly see this book on Book Talk, and I'm okay with being in my birthday suit.
Yeah.
I actually didn't think it was crude. Because in my mind, crude is like when you're I don't okay, I don't know. I'm like I
but
feel
we
like
bully romances, and that literally was what
I
this
do.
was. Like, we love a good bully, and Knox is a fine specimen of a bully.
well, he is a fine specimen of a bully, and he continues to be through the whole series, which is part of the reason that we liked it. Is because
he stays on track.
nothing bothers me more when you try and create a bully setting, and then all of a sudden he becomes a cinnamon roll, and I go, tell me what it's just shifted in his like
whole demeanor.
What
Like,
just
you can't
shifted?
just change a character like that. We should say that Knox is technically supposed to be like 1,000 years old.
Totally.
So, like, yeah, he's pretty set in his character ways.
I actually think that she portrayed him well as that age.
I do.
Because they always get these 1,000-year-old vampire fays or whatever, and then they act like they're 20-year-old boys.
I hate it.
And
I
it's
hate
like,
that.
you can't tell me that you're going to act like a 20-year-old boy when you've been on this earth for 1,000 years. Like, it's
I would
just
agree.
absolutely asinine to me.
I agree. This one has a picture in the middle of it, so I have to screenshot it twice.
Okay.
But I forgot you could do this on Goodreads. Okay. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
This was awful. That's really all I can say about it. I don't really understand why people loved these characters since they were all underdeveloped with personalities that boiled down to horny porridge. What's horny porridge?
Was she trying to say porn?
I don't.
Horny porn?
I also don't really care. The storyline was barely coherent. I felt like I was reading a fan fiction of Fever Dream for 50% of the book. The other 50% was spent talking about how the main characters needed to be bred to get her under control. So, in case anyone was wondering, there was some romantic misogyny in this one. Yum. I get your sarcasm. My favorite part was when the main character stripped off all her clothes and tried to fuck everybody in sight. Apparently, it was a dominance thing, but she was pretty fucking beta, if that was the case, since she instantly got trapped by our lead guy. Why did I buy this book? I have so many regrets right now.
I think if you look,
I think it all is on track. I think everything was set up well to a
Yeah.
point where everything that happened actually made sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought it made sense. And she gives you little pieces to make it make sense as you go.
Yeah.
I think maybe, look, sometimes if you have some more feminist tendencies, which I think every woman should
Yeah.
have, I think sometimes you can't, like, you always have to make like a stance, you know? It's like
Yeah.
you have to make this like feminist stance on it, and it's like,
This wasn't needed for this book. This was
no,
not
I think
for that.
this was
But there is feminine rage.
oh yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And there are some feminist qualities to Arya.
Yes, there are. But Knox balances that. So
yes, with his severe dominance.
I am a 100% true believer that masculine and
feminine energies.
feminine energies should be in balance. So if you have someone who's very, very masculine, then you probably need a female who's very, very feminine.
I would agree with that.
And somehow you have to figure out how to balance the those two energies.
Amelia Hutchins did a fantastic job.
And I
this,
thought she
though.
did a good job of it in this series.
I did too.
So
They're right here.
I really loved in this story, it is the hardest thing for an author to continue a series to always keep creating conflict between the FMC and the MMC to keep the story going, right? Because
Yes.
once the conflict is gone, where's the story?
Right.
Right? It's like then you have to come up with new conflict with other characters and do a spin-off or
Bring people
whatever,
in
right?
Or whatever, yeah.
But because the story was so complex and complicated, she was capable of taking that whole thing all the
trying
way
to yawn without
through.
yawning
I saw
directly
that,
into the-
but that's okay.
Sorry.
I get that. I realized that my comment was so boring.
No, it wasn't your comment.
I know it.
I'm just
I get
dragging
it. I get it.
today as a whole. It's fine. But no, I agree. Having that balance and then trying to keep conflict coming in in a way that balances.
4 stories.
Well, there's 5 out now. We just haven't read book 5.
Oh yeah, that's right. We've read
But
4.
to have that actually flows and continues through so many books,
Yeah,
is awesome. And
right.
but I will tell you,
We haven't had literally
the story on page. So good.
I know. It's
So good.
just our opinion.
Yeah. We have a friend, though, that said that it was too far for her. I think it's important to know where your line is.
Yep. Once it gets there, then you just stop and you're like,
Yeah.
nope, that's not where I'm going.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
You get to choose.
I thought that was fun.
I did too, actually. I really liked it. Except for all the wrong opinions. So, you all are wrong. I'm sorry. That's what my heart of hearts is saying right now.
People
is that
are
they're wrong.
so feisty.
But then they give like these whole long
Yeah.
definitions as to like
I
why
probably
it was so
could
bad.
write better reviews and make them longer, but I just usually throw in there what I think I need to know.
Yeah.
And if I can if I remember your book like 6 months later,
I think that's important.
that's
huge.
Impressive. And just for the amount that we read and that we consume, it's like when you can remember it that far out and you have a love for it still, then that means something. So
I agree. I 1000% agree. I think that reading as a whole is extremely subjective.
Yeah.
And I think that seeing other people's opinions on books that we absolutely love is validating to that, of it being so subjective, but at the same time being firm in our own choices, in our own ratings. Because I think that that's also important. So, and guess what? My opinion matters most to me.
yeah, I mean,
That's the way that it comes down to it. Okay. We loved these books. We obviously know that other people did not. If you have read these, we would love to know your opinions in the comment section because you can give them freely.
even if you hated it. I actually really like reading like 1-star reviews only because I feel like It helps me.
Sometimes it points out things that I didn't notice.
Well, it helps me develop my opinion.
Yeah.
More or even better, or I can be like, yeah, I get that, but that's not important to me, because certain things are important to different people, you know. And it's just like assistant to the villain. Fun, banter, and wittiness is important to me.
Absolutely.
And if you can put that into a book, like, I'm probably there and I'm sold. So I really value witty banter. So yeah, I'm sure other people value different things.
Yeah.
So,
and you know what's funny? Most of these books that we said had a certain extent to witty banter.
Probably. I think they did, actually.
Banter is one of the things that we absolutely love in a book. So if you're not already subscribed, please do so. We've got some amazing things coming up really, really soon that we can't wait for you all to participate in. So make sure to subscribe, hit that bell, and come along for this bookish journey as I hit my mic. This bookish journey.
Yeah, but I like these mic stands. I like them a lot. No matter how my hands are free to do whatever I want to do.
Until I keep hitting things, but it's all good. We're excited. Different kinds of setups are coming. Different things. We've got some author interviews that we really want you guys to participate in.
Stand it.
So yeah, just be ready. We are going to start streaming over on Twitch. So we would like you guys to go and subscribe or follow over there. We're figuring out some things there. It's going to be
Blush and Burn
amazing.
Books.
Yes, Blush and Burn Books over on Twitch.
Blush and Burn Books.
Yep. I will put the handle here. I will also put it down in the description as well.
Which we like.
Yes.
Twitch is
We like
cool.
Twitch. It was fun.
Yeah, it was way fun. And I'm actually having fun discovering new people for me to watch on Twitch.
I would also agree.
This is like a new rabbit hole for us. So.
Yep. I'm loving it.
Yep.
So we'll be back soon with our next episode. Peace.